Welcome to Bupleurum. This is a beautiful, beautiful herb. There's probably about 190 different species of it. A lot of them used, medicinally all over the place. And we're going to dive in and look at a little bit closer at some of this. And for those of you not familiar with Bupleurum, known as chai hu in the East or in traditional Chinese medicine, this is an herb that's bitter. And it's used very effectively in both the West and the East for digestive disorders, liver disorders. In fact, in traditional Chinese medicine, it is called the king herb for moving qi, moving energy, especially liver qi. And the liver is recognized in traditional Chinese medicine for aiding the free flow of qi in the body. It's a very important function above all of its other functions that some of you may be more familiar with, whether West or East. So this idea is that you don't want qi getting stuck, right? You don't want to be in a traffic jam. You get in a traffic jam, you start to get irritable. You get cranky. People can have accidents. Things begin to domino effect. So this is this idea of this free flow liver qi, and Bupleurum is very, very good at resolving these kinds of issues. So it's used for a lot of different ways and very frequently with other herbs. This is not an herb that's generally used by itself. Plays better with other people. So for example, it'll be very frequently combined with skullcap in traditional Chinese medicine to treat what we call the Shaoyang stage of illness. This is a stage of pathogenic invasion where the pathogen is moved past the exterior, but it's still at the exterior. It's sort of in between. It's not fully interior where you'd want to sort of drain a pathogen out. But it's not enough at the exterior that you can just use exterior, releasing herbs to put, eliminate the condition that way. It's sort of between. So you're going to have bitter taste in the mouth, chills and fever. Not quite cold, not quite hot. It doesn't, it's all And this is a great herb for treating that. And that's really important because not only does it come up often with colds and flus, but malaria or typhoid fever. These are the kinds of illnesses that can exhibit this bitter taste in the mouth, these kinds of symptoms that are emblematic of what's known as this Shaoyang stage, this sort of in-between place. So combined with skullcap and, of course, other herbs to assist that. Angelica, it'll often be mixed with, dongguai to treat female disorders, to help harmonize the blood. It'll be blended with mint. Bohu, very, very good because this is a cool release to the exterior, so helps move a little bit more in that direction, calming, lifting the spirit, so very good for treating depression, stifling feelings in the chest. Now, where I want you to become aware of some of these alternate varieties of Bupleurum is in the East. So in the West, you're going to largely be looking at Bupleurum falcatum, sometimes called falciform. So that's the variety typically used there. Again, there's a lot of species. In traditional Chinese medicine, there's largely these two varieties. One is Bupleurum chinensis. The other is Bupleurum scorzoneriifolium. And this is what starts to happen. We get into the situation where, let's start with B. chinensis as one of these varieties you may not be familiar with. So all Bupleurum is called chai hu. B. chinensis, Bupleurum chinensis, is also known as northern Bupleurum. Bai chai hu, got its own little name. Don't let it confuse you. It's harder. It's harvested in the fall. Therefore, it's sometimes just called hard Bupleurum. And that has its own new name, Ying Chai Hu, or Autumn Bupleurum, Kyu Chai Hu, forgive my Chinese. Bupleurum chinensis, all these different names for the same plant, is generally considered to be better at treating this Shaoyang stage we talked about, this kind of in-between place. The second variety is this Bupleurum scorzoneriifolium that we talked about. It's known as Southern Bupleurum, and it will be called non-chai hu, or soft Bupleurum, Ruan chai hu. So you see, they've all got their own names, but we're still talking about essentially two varieties. Comparatively, Bupleurum chinensis is considered better for the Shaoyang stage, this in-between place of illnesses, and B. chinensis is considered better at spreading liver qi, relieving qi stagnation. So there you go. Chai hu, bitter herb, moving the energy, often used with other herbs. And don't let all these different kinds of Bupleurum fool you or mess with your mind. It's an excellent herb with slight nuances there for you to take more advantage of. Visit our website at White Rabbit Institute of Healing to find out more about this very important moving chi herb.